All right, let's talk about something that every single one of us in the wireless world deals with every day, but maybe don't think about enough. FCC Part 15. These are the rules of the road that, believe it or not, keep our shared airwaves from turning into total, unusable chaos.
Now, just so you know, what we're covering today is Part 9 of a much larger 20-part series. It's all based on a super detailed report from the RFI detectives who are part of Virtualization Options LLC. We're zeroing in on Chapter 9, all about regulatory compliance.
I mean, come on, you know the feeling, right? As a wireless tech, you've been there. You're trying to troubleshoot a network, and it just feels like pure anarchy. You've got microwaves, you got Bluetooth headphones, baby monitors, and what feels like 100 other Wi-Fi networks all screaming at the same time. It's the Wild West out there.
Well, here's a really good way to get a handle on it all. Let's think of the ISM bands, 2.4 and 5 gig as a massive public highway system. It's for everybody, and it's how we get all of our data from here to there.
But here is the absolute key takeaway. Just because that highway is unlicensed and anyone can hop on, that does not mean it's a free-for-all. It's not the demolition derby. You can't just drive however you want whenever you want. There have to be rules or you'll just have complete gridlock.
And that's where FCC Part 15 comes in. This is the official rulebook. It's the driver's manual for our wireless highway, laying out the laws that every single device has to follow to keep things from crashing and burning.
So let's get the official definition from the RFI detectives report. Basically, FCC Part 15 is all about setting speed limits on how much electronic noise or radiated emissions a device is allowed to make. And this covers everything. Your access point, that's an intentional radiator. It's supposed to transmit. But it also covers unintentional radiators, like a cheap noisy power adapter that's spewing out interference. The goal is simple: prevent harmful interference.
And this slide really nails the difference. Think about it. Licensed spectrum, like what the big cellular carriers use. That's like a private toll road. They paid a ton of money for exclusive access, so the traffic is smooth and predictable. But the ISM bands, that's our public highway. It's awesome, it's free for all of us to use, but that freedom comes with a huge responsibility to follow the rules. This shared responsibility leads to what I think of as the driver's compact. It is the fundamental, core agreement that every single device driving on this highway has to sign up for. It's a two-way street. The source material really says it best. Devices can't cause undue interference, and, just as important, they have to be able to tolerate interference from other compliant devices. So, it's not just about what your device is shouting, it's about what it can hear without freaking out. Let's break that down.
It really boils down to two simple rules. Rule number 1, don't be a jerk. Your device is not allowed to be the loud, obnoxious one on the road causing pileups for everyone else. And rule number 2, you can't be a delicate flower. Your device must be able to take the normal, everyday noise from all the other devices that are following the rules. It has to be tough enough to handle rush hour traffic.
Okay, so we've got the rules of the road. But, what if somebody just ignores them? What if a manufacturer makes a device that's way over the power limit, or an operator just cranks their system up to 11?
Well, that's when the FCC puts on its flashing lights and pulls you over. They are the highway patrol of the airwaves, and if you get caught breaking the law, you're going to face some pretty serious consequences.
And listen, we're not talking about a slap on the wrist here. The penalties are no joke. We're talking about massive, sometimes business-ending fines. And in some cases, the FCC can just walk in and seize the gear. They can literally take your non-compliant equipment and shut you down.
So, why does any of this matter to you? You're a wireless technician out there in the real world. Because you're not just another driver on this highway. You are a professional. You're the expert driver, the trucker, the bus driver. And knowing these rules inside and out is a fundamental part of your job.
And this is a point I really need you to hear. This responsibility, it doesn't stop at the factory door. As the person who actually deploys, configures, and maintains this stuff, you share that responsibility. If you use the wrong antenna, or you crank up the power settings beyond what's legal, you could take a perfectly good, compliant piece of hardware and make it illegal. You're on the hook too.
So I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about. The next time you're on a job and a network is failing and everyone's pulling their hair out, don't just ask about interference. Go one level deeper. Ask yourself, could this be a compliance problem? Is there a device here, maybe even one of ours, that isn't playing by the rules? Because knowing the difference between an interference problem and a compliance problem, well, that changes everything.